Hi, I'm Lorien, Tyne, the news editor at the Ithacan, and today I'm talking to Luca Maurer and Crissi Dalfonzo. Crissi is new at Ithaca College, and so we're introducing them today. And do you guys want to just both introduce yourselves?
I'm the Executive Director of Student Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging, which is a role out of the college's new Center for Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging.
And I am Crissi Dalfonzo. I am the brand new director of the LGBT Center. Today is day 4 at Ithaca College.
And Luke, you've been doing this for a while, so how does it feel to step out of that role and kind of go somewhere new?
Yeah, so when I stepped in to run the LGBT Center, I was stepping into a role that was envisioned by students. It was students who created the center, and I always took it as a very an honor and a privilege to carry out their vision. And today, it is an honor and a privilege to look back at everything that everyone involved with the center has accomplished and to pass the baton.
Can you tell me about your experience working in DEI and also as an educator and a leader and I believe as an artist, right? And how that kind of gets folded into a role like this?
Yeah. So I've been doing LGBTQ plus work for 8-9 years now. Counting is hard. But it's been a little while. I had gone into student affairs in general right after undergrad. You mentioned art. I had gone to art school and thought I was going to get a master's degree in art therapy. And then senior year, I took an art therapy practicum and realized that I like college students a lot more than I like art therapy. And so December of my senior year pulled like a complete about face and was like, okay, we're going into student affairs. I'm going to go be a hall director for a couple of years. And I moved up to Maine to go do that. Yeah. And while I was there, decided to go back to grad school, and the school that I decided to go to was hiring in their LGBT resource center. And it just kind of changed my whole trajectory because I was like, wow, I really love college students. I thought I was going to be in residential life forever. And then I got into working with queer college students. Wait, no, this is even better. And I ran a regional search looking for, up in the Northeast, who was hiring for a center. And at the time, Cornell was hiring, and that was how I landed in Ithaca. And I've been here for just over 5 years. So I had been in the resource center at Cornell for 5 years. And when Luca reached out to let me know that he was, officially taking only one position, I'm very excited for that. It was an opportunity I just couldn't pass up.
You mentioned really loving working with college students and queer college students. And I'm wondering, like, both of you, what your experience was like in college and in school in general, and how that has kind of informed and inspired like the work that you do now.
So it's interesting. I really wasn't involved at all in queer life as an undergrad. I've been out since high school, but it wasn't necessarily one of my central identities in college. I was very much one of the art kids. I was an RA, I was an art student, and those were I bounced back and forth between my res hall and my studio pretty much all 4 years. The school that I went to didn't have a resource center. We had a student group, and they were so cool. And I was really intimidated by them. And so I just kind of stayed over in the art school and was queer, but was not necessarily involved with queer community. And so it was really interesting years after graduating undergrad to go back to grad school and start working with queer undergrads and be like, oh, okay, so this is what it looks like to have this be a more central part of your experience, to have a resource center on your campus. And so it's really, an interesting balance to find, because I have students who come spend time in, our offices who are very involved, for whom their LGBTQ plus identity is really important to their college experience. And I get to be a part of that.
Do you guys have any plans of how the centers are going to kind of collaborate, or do you have any projects that you're kind of excited about that you want to share?
It's in core. I have no specific plans.
Yeah.
Big picture, absolutely, right? One of the things that really drew me to Cornell, one of the things that really drew me to IC is the opportunity for intersectional work. Okay. We don't exist in a vacuum. This is an LGBT center, but that's not the only identity that our students hold. And so it's really important to be working with our colleagues across campus, other student groups, to create spaces where students can be their full self. So they don't have to choose between being queer and Jewish or queer and Black, that they can come and exist in all of their identities at once. And so that's going to necessitate a lot of partnership with our other offices in our department, as well as other areas on campus. Lucas scheduled a lot of meetings for campus partners to just meet people and start to figure out, who are you? What do you do? How might we work together? Because there are so many amazing possibilities right now.
Yeah, I'm sure that you guys are going to do so much this year. I'm curious if you have any advice for students interested in a career path like you two have followed in DEI and LGBTQ plus education services. And
for folks who are interested in sort of models of collaboration and models of partnership that seek to like flatten traditional hierarchies, right? And again, center the folks who really should be at the center, which are students. If that's something that's of interest to you, then I really think this is the kind of profession that you were made for.
I have the privilege in this role of being able to, just by existing, be a role model. And so it's really important to me that I be really loud about all of my identities. I'm a really good person for the job because this is what I love. Like, this is my heart's work. I think I write in, my bio a lot of the time that like I've been in student affairs for 10, 12 years now. And I know without a doubt that like working with queer students is where my heart lies.